Hi beauties! Today we're going to be talking about high-paying, low-stress, feminine careers part 2. In this video, we will be highlighting specific careers, the required skill level and qualifications, pay rates, benefits, as well as ways that you can break into these careers. For my girls in the UK, I know I have a lot of you in the Discord. I've also added salaries in pounds to translate what you could potentially make in these fields. We also still have our stressometer from part 1. And speaking of part 1, I do want to add some corrections, highlighting 3 specific professions mentioned that the women in the comments expressed were actually very high stress, regardless of the pay. So these careers were specifically being a librarian, working in UX UI design, and lastly, working in interior design. So I do want to thank the women in the comments who highlighted the mental stress from working in these career fields. Some HR girlies did mention that they also carry stressful workloads. However, those reviews were mixed with other women expressing how much they love their job and how they were glad that the profession was mentioned in the first video. At the end of the day, I do these videos for fun and I try to be as accurate as I can, but always do your own research. This video is not the end all be all. So here I am with another high pay, low stress feminine careers video. For further clarification, a feminine career in this context and to me is one that really just allows women to not feel too much pressure in the industry after years of schooling and internships. Anything that offers a decent work-life balance and flexibility within a livable wage, I would consider a feminine job as it pertains to women who prefer to live a feminine lifestyle even within their careers. The salary for the careers on this list starts out at least $30,000 and 29,500 euros, which is well above the federal poverty line in the US and the UK for a single individual. And as always, feel free to express how you feel if your profession is mentioned in this video and you disagree or agree. Just remember to keep your comments respectful so it doesn't get deleted. But I digress. I love the conversation started in the last video, so let's keep it going with part 2. If you would like to support this channel so that I can continue making videos like this one, I would appreciate it if you subscribed. YouTube told me that 80% of you who watched part 1 to this series were not subscribed. So if you are interested in seeing more videos like this one, don't forget to click the subscribe button, like this video, and leave a comment about what your dream career is so that it can be featured in the next one. I also have a Patreon, which is linked in the description and on this video that you can join, which will give you exclusive and early access to videos like this one. We do have a Discord with over 500 career-driven and ambitious women from all around the world who have been so helpful to each other, whether talking about financial literacy, careers, beauty habits, and etc. If you would like to join, you can join the Patreon as a paid member and I'll give you a personalized link. However, for right now, the Discord is closed, but the Patreon is one of the best ways you can find out when it opens and other updates that have to do with this channel in particular. I know my intros are long, but with all of that out of the way, let's get right into the video. So first we're kicking it off with being a stay-at-home mom. So the skill level and qualifications for this career or job, whatever you want to call it, are none at all. However, skills in time management, organization, childcare, and household management are definitely beneficial. The stress level varies, but on average, it is moderate to high, depending on the household dynamics and responsibilities, i.e., if your husband can afford time and money to provide an easier life for you and your children.
A stay-at-home mom is not a 24/7 personal assistant and maid. She is somebody who stays at home and her primary job is to care for the children, not to do the laundry, the cooking, the cleaning, and anything that has to do with the inside of the house. That is not what a stay-at-home mother's job is to do. You leave the house for 40, 50 hours a week for work, and during those 40 or 50 hours, her job is to take care of the children and do what she can. Maybe that means cooking lunches. Maybe that means the kids' laundry. But if you would not ask a nanny to do it, you should not be asking your wife to do it as well. Being a stay-at-home mother does not by default make somebody the catch-all for everything that has to do with the home and the children. That is far too much work for any one person to do, which is why when you have 2 working parents, you have a nanny and a housekeeper and a dog walker and all of these things that you outsource to because it is not possible for one person to do all of these things. right? Especially while caring for children, and especially if you have children of multiple ages, because you were doing pickups and drop-offs and activities and doctor's appointments and dentist appointments and calls with the teachers. There are a million things to do every single day when you have small children that have nothing to do with the domestic labor. Being a stay-at-home mom in title means that they are a mother first during those hours, and they are doing anything outside of that with the time that they can. It does not mean that everything at home ultimately becomes their responsibility. I need other stay-at-home moms to weigh in on this, because I am not one, but I feel so passionately that it is not a stay-at-home mom's job to do everything.
This is an unpaid laborious job unless you're married and you have a shared bank account and there's enough funds to go around. However, the value can be assessed based on a number of different factors. But the benefits for being a stay-at-home mom is creating strong family bonds, creating a legacy. There's a lot of flexibility to be able to do other things for yourself and your children. You have direct involvement in children's development and potentially someone to take care of you when you're older. And ways to break in is obviously through parenthood. So next on this list, we have making passive income, specifically making a YouTube channel, selling digital products, or investing in stocks. So the skill level and qualifications you want to have for this type of career, it kind of varies. So basic understanding of content creation for YouTube, marketing for YouTube and digital products, and then financial literacy when it comes to investing in stocks. The stress level also varies low to high, depending on the method and level of involvement that you choose.
Then you have your passive income. Passive income is just minimal effort. Of course, there's effort in every business, but minimal effort. You don't physically have to be there all the time. It kind of works itself. That'll be things like rental businesses, Airbnbs, maybe Turbo. My passive income is ebooks. I literally pulled the knowledge out of my mind, created the book one time, and then it just keeps selling itself. People download it. I don't have to ship. There's no upfront cost. Literally everything is profit.
And the pay varies, but I am going to break it up a little bit because it ranges from supplemental income to full-time income. So on average, a YouTuber will make around $60,000 a year with potential of seeing $80,000 per year and higher in the US, and $21,000 to $51,000 in the UK. The salary of a digital product earner makes on average $93,000 to potentially $150,000 per year in the US, and $44,000 to $59,000 in the UK. Stock investors earn on average from $62,000 to $176,000 per year in the US, and £23,000 to £114,000 in the UK. So the benefits for making passive income, whether it's from YouTube, selling digital products, or investing in stocks, are really just potential for significant earnings. As you can see, the minimum or average pay for each of these potential professions are actually pretty high. You have flexibility and scalability, and there's really no cap to how much you make when it comes to passive income. It really does depend on how you market, and that's really how I was able to build this channel up to, I think we're at 13,000 subscribers now in literally 3 months, which kind of allowed me to open the door to other forms of passive income. And then I'm going to be getting back into investing, and I'll be sharing some investing tips with my girlies on Patreon. That's still coming. But ways to break in is just to create and promote content, develop and market digital products, educate yourself on investing strategies, and networking with professionals. So next on this list is becoming an executive assistant. So the skill level and qualifications for becoming an executive assistant is having a bachelor's degree, which is optional but preferred, strong organizational and communication skills, as well as proficiency in office software. So the stress level here is moderate because of managing schedules and high-level tasks.
People ask what I do for work all the time. I'm an EA, which basically means I work for a CEO and I do all his little errands. I enjoy it so much because all I do is like calendar work, travel shit, and run errands like getting coffee, which is basically like a free little break. I get to walk around New York City, get some vitamin D. My favorite part, I love it. Every single job as an EA, they give you the company card. I love it. It's like the best part. I don't even have to spend money on myself, but just knowing that I have someone else's card, it feels good. I don't know. And for people asking like how I got this position all the time, I've literally been working as an EA since I got out of college, and with more experience they pay you more, which is really good. Also, the companies I've worked for are pretty big. I also interned for like the UN and stuff, so it's pretty like nice and impressive, so I can't say more. Also, just interview fucking well. Be likable. I'm also pretty loud and I ask a lot of questions like a psycho, so that helps. Also, for an interview, always provides a situation where you were like in trouble, not in trouble, but like you had a big thing to solve and how you solved it. Perfect. Especially for a role like this one. Also saying some extra work you've been doing for the position. Like I always say, like I do events and stuff also. I've arranged stuff, budget stuff, you know, some extra work that you do aside from just normal like assistant work. But yeah, good luck.
But the pay starts out at $50,000 to $80,000 in the US and 36,000 pounds to 42,000 pounds annually in the UK. The benefits are exposure to executive decision making, varied tasks, and opportunities for advancement. Some ways to break into becoming an executive assistant is gaining experience through internships or entry-level positions, developing strong organizational skills, and networking within the business community. Next I have on this list for high-paying, low-stress feminine careers is becoming a makeup artist and beauty brand representative. The skill level and qualifications you want to have is a certification in makeup artistry, which is not necessary, experience with various makeup techniques, and knowledge of beauty products.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to take you on a day in the life of a makeup beauty rep, brand ambassador rep who goes into the Sephora stores. I don't work at Sephora, but I go into the Sephora stores probably like 4 to 5 times a week and try to educate customers and BAs on Cali Ray.
The stress level is moderate depending on client demands and deadlines, but the pay starts out at $30,000 per year to $40,000 annually in the US and 20,000 pounds to 42,000 pounds per year in the UK for a beauty brand representative. However, this can vary widely as brand reps are usually part or full-time makeup artists in tangent with the brand that they represent, and in that case you can set your own prices depending on your clientele and skill level, and most of the time you don't even have to pay for the product. Most companies will also pay for your education, so you can take certificate classes for free or even get your cosmetology license for free. The benefits include creative expression, interaction with clients, and potential for freelance work. On top of freelancing yourself outside of the company that you work for, as well as free product. And ways to break in is by completing a makeup artistry course. If you don't know anything to do with makeup, you could also build a portfolio on Instagram or any other media platform, gaining experience through internships or freelancing, networking within the beauty industry. And I know women personally who have started as an in-store beauty advisor with no prior experience at all at the major retailers and essentially upgraded to this position through networking with brand reps who would be sent to their specific locations. There's just a number of ways to break into this career, and if you like beauty products, skin and hair care, this is a great career to dive into so that, like I said, you don't really have to pay for all of that product. It's just given to you for free. So next on this list is going to be a flight attendant. So the skill level and qualifications are basically just a high school diploma, training that is provided by the airlines, and customer service skills. So the stress level is moderate, but it can be high because of irregular hours and customer service interactions.
I have a lot of new hires on my page, and welcome. We are in this together, baby. I've only been a flight attendant for a little bit under a year. You know, people be asking me, how many years you were a flight attendant? Baby, it hasn't even been a full year yet. But here are some tips for new hires, new flight attendants, just stuff that I've learned along the way. Rule number 1, always get your naps. Get your rest in. They are very important because I don't know if you was here from the very beginning. I used to have a series called Day in the Life of a Sleep-Deprived Flight Attendant, and I meant it. I was not sleeping. I was not sleeping the way I should have been, and it caused me to, I forgot a lot of stuff. I got in trouble we're not gonna get into it. Don't feel pressure to go out. If you want to be a slam clicker, be a slam clicker. Slam click that door, honey, because I do sometimes. Number 2, make sure you have 2 of everything. I have a facial cleanser that I leave at home. I have a facial cleanser that I bring with me on trips. 2 of everything, body wash. 1 at home, 1 to take on my trips. It's a little bit pricey and expensive, and they don't give us the budget at first, but it's worth it. You won't be like, oh my God, I left my toothpaste. I've done that before. But if you do leave your toothpaste, just go downstairs to the lobby. They give you toothpaste, just in case. Number 3, this is just a personal tip for me. I'm a person, like, I'll make plans in the morning, and then by the afternoon, I don't really know if I still want to do those things. So when I go on trips, like, even if I'm going on a 2-day, I'm bringing a variety of clothes. I'm gonna bring a workout outfit, I'm gonna bring a club outfit, I'm gonna bring a lounging outfit, because I don't know if I'm gonna feel like clubbing. I don't know if I'm gonna feel like slam clicking. I don't know if I'm gonna feel like running to the grocery store. I don't know if I'm gonna feel like working out. So I'm just gonna bring options. I like options. Number 4, I think this is number 4. This one is really, really important for me, at least. Being a flight attendant can sometimes get very, very lonely. You're traveling all the time, you're missing family events, you're not home. You just feel, you start to feel a little bit left out. So I would say, like, really, really, really just dive deep into whatever your religion is or whatever you believe in. Just dive deep into your faith. You're gonna find yourself, I don't know, for me, I pray a lot. I'll start praying a lot more. I read a lot more. Just do a lot of things that'll just get you closer to yourself, if that makes sense. You're gonna have to take care of your mental health to take advantage of the resources that your job has. I know at least for my job, we have those type of resources where we can go to a counselor that's provided for our job, like if you need it, because mental health is a real thing, even though a lot of people like to act like it's taboo. It's not. And I guess that could lead me into my number 5. Take advantage of those off days. I'm notorious. If you know me, I'm notorious. Is that the word? Notorious? I'm notorious. I'm very known for my me days. I have my me days. I do not play about my me days. And they are all day events. I go and I get my facials. I go, I get my hair done. I get my nails done. I go, I get massages. I go and I take care of myself, because if you're here for a long time, if you're here from the beginning, I advocate, I'm always saying, you cannot give from an empty cup. A lot of the times people come onto my flights and I'm like, good morning. And they're like, oh my God, a nice flight attendant. And a lot of these flight attendants, they're angry or they're tired, they're crabby, they're cranky, they're having a long day. Granted, I understand, but this is what I mean when I'm saying you cannot give from an empty cup. So if you're having a stressful work week, those off days, put that phone on D&D and have that me day. Have that me day. It's about you day. Because your vessel, this is important. You have to take care of it. You cannot function if you're not feeling good. So those are my tips. Let me know if you guys want some more.
The pay starts out at $30,000 to $60,000 annually and €40,000 to €51,000 per year in the UK. Benefits definitely include travel opportunities, staying at luxury hotels, you get benefits packages, and meeting diverse people all around the world. So if you do like to travel and you kind of want to get into the business of travel, I would definitely recommend becoming a flight attendant. Ways to break in is by applying to airlines, completing the required training that is provided by the airline, and gaining customer service experience. Next, we have becoming an image consultant. So the skill level and qualifications you want to have is a certification in image consulting or fashion, but it's not necessary. Strong interpersonal and communication skills, knowledge of fashion and personal branding. So the stress level is definitely low to moderate based on client interactions and staying updated on trends.
Welcome to a day in my life as an image consultant and stylist and, all around fashion girly living in New York City. My friend Trav, who is quite literally the shit, hit me up to style a test shoot for a model he's been wanting to work with. And to be honest, I was a little apprehensive because my line of work is more personal styling based. But honestly, I was like, this is a great opportunity to expand my skill set because I'm still styling a body at the end of the day. And one of the most important things to know as a stylist is how to work with different body types. So anyway, child, let's get into these looks. First look Shreya is wearing is an oversized blazer, button-up shirt, fishnet skirt, thong sandals, accessorized with pearls, my favorite. Second look was this silk cow neck top with the linen wrap skirt, accessorized with bold bangles and earrings. I love that we shot this outside. The wind was blowing just so perfectly. Third look, actually from my own closet. I styled this base range dress with a pair of pinstripe trousers, something cool and a little unique. Can't wait to show you guys the final images, so stay tuned.
The pay starts out at $50,000 per year to $100,000 annually in the US and 45,000 euro to 90,000 euro in the UK. So benefits of being an image consultant is it's just creative work in general. You help clients improve their appearance and their confidence, and you also have potential for freelance work. Some ways to break in is by completing a certification program. It is optional, but it is preferred. Building a portfolio, gaining experience through internships or freelancing, networking with fashion and personal branding professionals. Next on this list is becoming a doula. So the skill level and qualifications you want to have for becoming a doula is certification through a recognized doula training program, which is also optional but preferred, knowledge of childbirth and postpartum care as well. So the stress level here is moderate because of the on-call nature. You can have overnight shifts as well. And then because of the amount of emotional support that you have to provide.
Firstly, thank you so much for saying you want to be a doula. We need more doulas of color. Thank you so much. But let's go ahead and get into this question. How can you become a doula? First things first, you technically don't have to be certified to be a doula because we are not medical professionals. If you are a support partner for anybody who goes into labor and you're by their side their entire time and you do whatever you can to make sure they have a birthing experience, guess what? You're a doula. Now, I will say personally, I do think you need to go ahead and get certified. For certification programs, look in the comments. But here's why I suggest you get certified. It's just an easier way for you to have a more structured way of learning all the things that you need to know to be an effective doula versus just trying to figure it out on your own. Also, if you ever get questioned by the hospital about your presence being there, you have your certification to back you up. I personally went through Maternity Wise, but there are several others you can go to. Again, check the comments. With being a doula, you're going to need that on-site, in-person practice. So go ahead and find some pregnant people near you and ask to be their doula.
The pay starts out at $40,000 to $60,000 annually in the US and significantly lower in the UK, starting at 22,000 euro to 42,000 euro per year. But this does vary based on your clientele. So benefits of becoming a doula is just that it's rewarding work. You have a direct impact on birthing experiences, and you can kind of make your own schedule. So ways to break into this career field are to complete a doula training program, gain experience through mentorship or volunteering, or simply asking the pregnant people around you if you can be their doula, as well as networking with healthcare providers and practitioners. Next, we have luxury public relations. So the skill level and qualifications to get into PR is a bachelor's degree in public relations, communications, or any related field, strong writing and communication skills, as well as experience in luxury markets. So the stress level here is moderate because of managing high-profile clients and events.
What did you study to get into PR?
I studied political science, international relations, and global development.
What university did you go to?
I went to a little place outside of Montreal called Bishop's University. Go Gators.
So where did you go to university and what did you study to get into PR?
Did you study at uni to get into PR?
I studied a Bachelor of Business and Communications, majoring in Strategic Communication.
Where?
UTS. What did you study at uni and what university did you go to?
I go to Macquarie Uni and I'm studying a Bachelor of Media and Communications, majoring in PR.
Emma, what did you study to get into PR and what university did you go to?
I studied a Bachelor of Journalism at Macquarie College. I started as a journalist and then just shifted over.
The pay starts out at $60,000 per year to $120,000 annually in the US and significantly lower in the UK at 35,000 euro to 52,000 euro per year. The benefits of being in PR, especially luxury PR, is just having a prestigious client base. You have glamorous events and high visibility as a public figure. Some ways to break in is by obtaining relevant education, gaining experience through internships, developing a network within luxury markets, and even starting a PR agency. Next on this list, we have becoming a restaurateur. So the skill level and qualifications of basically just owning a restaurant is experience in the restaurant industry, business acumen, and culinary skills, which is optional but very beneficial. The stress level is moderate to high here because managing staff, managing operations, and finances can be a lot of hard work until you are able to hire people to do those things for you.
A day in the life of a restaurant owner. So I decided to start this TikTok series because my restaurant is rooted in ingredient transparency, hence our name Rooted. We are super transparent about the ingredients we use, so I thought, hey, why not also be transparent about how we operate? So here we go. Start off the day by checking the waste log so we know exactly what we need to prep for service. So here is Yaz chopping away some eggplants that we are about to roast off. And then we get to our sweet potatoes where we cube them very evenly, place them on a sheet pan for roasting at around 400 degrees, and then look at that beautiful golden brown. Really important to cut uniformly, not just because it looks prettier, but because it makes sure that each piece of vegetable cooks at the same temperature. And therefore we're able to get this really beautiful golden roast on it just because of how we cut. We then place all the roasted veggies into their trays for serving, and we mix up our guac and other sauces. Look how beautiful that is. And bam, lunch service has begun. It's already crazy. A huge part of our business is catering and to-go orders, so I personally like to manage these, and I write notes to friends or just any rooter that orders. Here's my friend Paige's bowl. Look how gorgeous it is. And just a quick little shout out to the Moroccan chickpea plate. Then chaos struck again when Toast had a nationwide outage. So Toast is how we even manage every order and payment. So since we couldn't take any orders, we started to prep for the next day. Toast is now up and running, guys, and so you can place orders, but my team handled it so beyond well. I know I say this every video and I'm so annoying, but I'm just really thankful for them. And when lunch service started getting a little slower, I began doing P&L and just some daily accounting. That's it. See you guys tomorrow.
The pay starts out at $68,000 per year to $77,000 and 25,000 euro to 63,000 euro annually, with the average being 40,000 euro. But overall, it does depend on your restaurant's success. So it's really about how you market it and your location. The benefits of being a restaurateur is having creative freedom. You have potential for very high earnings, and you make a really big community impact. So ways to break in is by gaining experience in the restaurant industry, developing a business plan, securing your financing, which I actually talk about in one of my Patreon videos about how to compete for finances, and then networking with industry professionals. Next, we have owning a bakery, and the skill level and qualifications here is experience in baking and business acumen, as well as culinary training, which is optional but very beneficial at the same time. Stress level here is moderate to high because same with being a restaurateur. You have to manage operations. Also with bakeries, you do have to get up really early, maybe as early as 4, 5 o'clock in the morning.
About a year ago, I started shipping cookies around the country, and now we ship thousands of cookies a day. Here's an update from our brand new production kitchen where we bake and ship fresh cookies all around the country and to select countries worldwide. One of the biggest upgrades we have made is to not take all of the individual trays out of the oven. We have this brand new Unox 16 tray oven, and look at this, the entire trolley comes out of the oven. Okay, once those cookies are baked, they get wheeled out to one of our 6 cool rooms where they chill, and then in the meantime, Jocelyn is folding all of the boxes here, which happens really quickly. She's probably the fastest at doing this. Meanwhile, we've got Sophia and Ellie over on the packing station. Each of our boxes goes in a recycled mailer bag that gets sealed, so it's a double seal, and then we have an express label and the shipping label. This electronic tape dispenser is one of my favorite things that we have bought for the bakery, and it wasn't even very expensive because, as you guys would see in the earlier videos, we used to do all of this by hand. Another thing we do is include cookie care instructions in every single box, so every single customer who receives one of our items will have some care instructions for how long the cookies last and how to reheat them in the oven. Here you can see Ellie date stamping all of those boxes, which has become a lot quicker because we used to do this by writing the date on every single box. But over time, we have improved all of our systems so that everything happens faster and we can bake and ship so many more cookies and send out so many orders worldwide. So if you've ever wondered how we are able to ship out thousands of orders every single week and then sell over 1,000 cookies a day in the bakery, this is the cookie kingdom where all the magic happens.
The pay starts out at $45,000 per year to $112,000 annually. And in the UK, 15,000 euro per year to 50,000 pounds, depending on the bakery's success. And that definitely goes into how you market as well. So the benefits for this career is having creative freedom, making a community impact, and potential for very high earnings. Ways to break in is by gaining experience in baking, developing a business plan, securing financing, and networking with industry professionals. Next, we have being a software tester. So skill level and qualifications include having a bachelor's degree in computer science or any related field, paying attention to detail, familiarity with testing tools and methodologies. The stress level here is moderate, so because of tight deadlines and ensuring product quality.
If you're trying to break into tech, becoming a QA tester is a great way to go. That's how I actually broke into tech. So I have some tips for you on how you can prepare for applying for a QA role. If you're that curious person, like a baby from Dexter Laboratory that was pushing the buttons, being like, ooh, what does this button do? And then everything breaks. That's basically a QA. First thing on the list, take a QA certification. So there's ISTQB QA tester certification. It gives you an idea of what Agile is, the different QA processes, and software development life cycle. It will help you pimp up your CV as well. So if you don't have any previous experience, just having this certification will help you get the interviews. Look for junior QA roles or manual QA. It's a great starting position, and then later on you can, for example, evolve into the automation tester, so become a software engineer. You can pivot into product. I already mentioned this for the certification, but definitely learn about Agile and software development lifecycle. You're going to get loads and loads of interview questions just around these. Go to the tech meetups and connect with other QAs on the LinkedIn. Ask them questions on how they got into the QA, and they will give you really, really good tips. Usually people in the tech are quite open to talk, so just reaching out to them, you will find a lot of people who just want to help. And that's about it. For more tips on product management startup,
the average starting salary in the US is $50,000 to $80,000. And in the UK, 30,000 euro to 50,000 euro. The benefits of this profession is the fact that it's growing in demand. There's opportunities for remote work, and this is a critical role in software development. So ways to break in is by completing a relevant degree or certification, gaining experience through internships, building a portfolio, and networking with IT professionals. Next, we have being a business analyst. So the skill level and qualifications for this career is going to be having a bachelor's degree in business, economics, or any related field, having analytical skills and proficiency in business software. There's also room for multilingual capabilities. The stress level here is moderate because of meeting deadlines and stakeholder expectations.
So a business analyst is the liaison and middleman between the business and user teams and the more technical teams, so your IT developers. We essentially get the requirements from our business stakeholders and end users, and then we take those requirements to the development team for them to develop a great product. We identify the current state needs of an organization, understand their challenges and their gaps, any issues with their processes, and then we rectify that by eliciting the right requirements to develop these technology solutions. Now, after development, what we do is we test these products and systems just to ensure that it's actually going to meet and align with our end users' needs. Everything looks good, then we deploy.
But the average starting salary in the US is going to be $60,000 to $90,000, and in the UK, 35,000 euro to 55,000. Benefits of becoming a business analyst is having diverse industry opportunities, making a strategic impact on business, and lots of potential for advancement. Ways to break in are obtaining a relevant degree, gaining experience through internships or entry-level positions, as well as networking with professionals in various industries. Next, we have becoming a data analyst. So the skill level and qualifications you want to have to become a data analyst is a bachelor's degree in statistics, mathematics, computer science, or any related field, analytical and statistical skills, proficiency in data analysis software as well. Stress level here is moderate because of data accuracy and meeting deadlines.
It took me 4 months to become a data analyst. I did a boot camp for 4 months and I was able to find a job in 2 months. I'm working my second job as a data analyst and I want to tell you what I would have done differently from the beginning. When I started my boot camp, I had no tech experience at all. If I can go back and change anything, I would take an intro to computer science. Yep, I would take an intro to computer science. There's a free computer science course online called CS50 Introduction to Computer Science at Harvard University. It's an online course, it's free. I would definitely do that from the beginning because I was so lost when it came to everything computers. This is going to familiarize yourself with functions, formulas, calculations, conditional statements. That class is just going to give you everything, and I'm even taking it right now. So alongside doing your boot camp, I would take that course, maybe like 1 video per week. Something else that my manager is stressing me to do, and everyone who is trying to get into the data analyst role should do, is learn SQL. Like, they want you to know SQL. It seems like a lot of things run on SQL, so I would pay a lot of attention to that if you are in a boot camp or if you're self-studying. He also stressed the fact to me that it's just not about being able to read the SQL queries, but it's being able to write in-depth SQL queries. A resource that I'm using to help me with just like the introductions into SQL, or that I did use, it's a YouTuber named Socratica, and she talks about joins, select statements, and I feel like this would be really good if you're starting off. When you're done your boot camp and you're done your introduction to SQL and you've done your introduction into computer science, I would suggest that you learn data algorithms and data structures. I'm not the most familiar with that, but that is something that my manager really wants me to take a course on. And after I take my introduction into computer science, I will be using this resource from YouTube, this YouTuber called Rob Edwards. He talks about data structures. I just want to make sure that I get that knowledge of the computer science course down packed first. Also, while you're in the first part of your journey, this is your time to start thinking of what kind of data analyst that you'd like to be. After a few months at my first role, I felt a little burnt out because I just felt like this wasn't what I wanted to do. So whether that's if you want to get into marketing, if you want to get into like the data science, or if you also want to start looking into like what a business analyst does, these are questions that you need to start asking yourselves from now.
The average starting salary in the US is going to be $60,000 to $85,000, and in the UK, 30,000 euro to 50,000 euro. Benefits for being a data analyst include high demand for skills, opportunity in various industries, and potential for remote work. Ways to break into this industry is by obtaining a relevant degree, gaining experience through internships or entry-level positions, building a portfolio, and networking with industry professionals. Next, we have kind of another high-paying one, and that's becoming a marketing specialist. So the skill level and qualifications you want to have for becoming a marketing specialist is having your bachelor's degree in marketing, communications, business, or any related field, having a bit of creativity, as well as analytical skills. Stress level is low to moderate, but it does varies with project deadlines and client expectations.
So I'm a product marketing specialist for a cybersecurity company.
From here or somewhere else?
Montreal, Canada.
How much do you make?
$50K a year.
Is that Canadian dollars?
Yes.
How long have you been doing it?
I started in May, actually.
Oh, that's not too bad. Total years of experience?
My first year.
So you're killing it. Do you like what you do?
Oh, I love it. I'm loving it.
Best and worst parts?
Best parts, honestly, the team. It's amazing. Yeah. Worst parts is the technical side of it. I come from a marketing background, so I know nothing about cybersecurity, but we're actually here for a training, so that's great.
Pay starts at $60,000 to $90,000 annually in the US and 54,000 euro to 81,000 euro annually in the UK. Benefits include creative work, opportunities for advancement, diverse projects, and potential for remote work. And some ways to break in is by completing a relevant degree, gaining experience through internships or entry-level positions, building a portfolio, and networking within the marketing industry. Last on this list, we have a pretty interesting one, which is becoming a crime analyst. So the skill level and qualifications you want to have for this career is having your bachelor's degree in criminal justice, criminology, or any related field, having analytical skills, and proficiency in data analysis software. Stress level here is low to moderate because of data analysis and report preparation.
I am so excited today to talk about crime analysis and crime analysts. I really do not plan these videos out. I literally go to homicide investigation, I say, I think other people should know about this, and then I make a video. I didn't even know we were having special guests today, but here these two crime analysts show up and I'm like, oh, thank God I sit in the second row, so I'll actually pay attention. Didn't even know we were getting special guests today. Crime analysis is kind of a job that I don't think a lot of people know exists, but I know a lot of people who would be really good at it. Because it's not like you have to be a police officer or another law enforcement officer. You can just look at the crimes that are happening and say like, oh, these are connected here, or, you know, we've seen a huge rise in this recently, like maybe let's figure out something to do about it. And one of the big reasons I was like, oh, I know so many people who would be good at this and would actually love doing this, is they called themselves creepers. Like, they love creeping on people. Like, the woman who was there, she said her favorite part of the job is being on social media all day and creeping and looking at people, looking at their families, seeing their old cars, seeing their new jobs. Like, I know so many girls, so many girlies who pull out the FBI badge every time we're looking into like our friends' boyfriends, new friends, you know what I'm talking about. So I know so many people who would be good at this job. If you like don't know what you want to do and you are great on the internet, like are interested in seeing patterns, seeing like different connections between things, like you could be a crime analyst. However, it is a lot of data and numbers, and I'm not saying you have to be good at data and numbers or statistics, because the one guy who was there, he was the manager of the whole place. His thing was all about data and numbers. And then the woman who was with him, like her thing was all about creeping. So like, I think there was like 6 people on their team, 6 people doing all different things. They had somebody who specializes in X trafficking. What else did they have? They had people who specialized in cell phone pinging and that kind of thing. So there's even like different subsets within crime analysis that could fit you. So this is just another segment in my Here's a Job You Don't Know About series.
The pay starts out at $50,000 to $75,000 annually in the US and €45,000 to €68,000 in the UK annually. The benefits for becoming a crime analyst include contributing to public safety, diverse work tasks, and having a stable career. Ways to break in is by completing a relevant degree, gaining experience through internships or entry-level positions, earning certifications in crime analysis, and networking with law enforcement agencies. So I want to let you all know that when it comes to searching for a new career, becoming an entrepreneur, or even dating, your digital footprint, especially in 2024, is a huge factor in being chosen. Before you start searching for these careers, make sure your resume is ATS friendly, make sure your digital footprint is cleaned up by utilizing SEO, and make sure you have an overall professional and competitive image online. So I did make a video for my patrons about this at the same time that I made this video. So if you do need advice on how to do this, and you do need to know how to do this, join the Patreon and we can have a little chat about it. You'll also get a link to the Discord, which will give you further access to more information from women all around the world who are law students, investors, women in tech, so forth and so on. And you'll just have an amazing overall support group that will support you in your career choices as you go. It's an amazing hub of women, so I would definitely recommend you all to do that. And that's all I have for you today. Be sure to check out other videos that aren't so career focused on my channel. There's so much more to learn here as it pertains to femininity, beauty, and becoming a focused, self-sufficient, and confident woman. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye.